Yes, ma'am. We are live now on YouTube. You can start.
Okay, sir. Okay. Hello. Good morning, all of you. Myself, Professor Archana Budruk Aute, JSPM and SBR Bhagwan Institute of Technology Barshi has organized this webinar for our students to develop their communication skill. So I heartily welcome for this program our campus director, Honorable Ruturaj Sawant sir, Principal Dr. A.K. Deshmani sir, Vice Principal Dr. N.G. Narve sir, and today's eminent speaker, Mr. Panjabrao Chavan sir, all the head of the departments, faculties of BIT, and all my dear students. We all of know that communication is very important aspect in our personal life as well as our professional life also. So to develop the students communication, we arrange this webinar for our students of BIT. With the help of this communication, we can develop the relation as well as we build the image of ourselves in our professional life. That's why we arrange this program for our students. As our college is located at the rural place and most of the students are from rural place, so many of them are not so much aware how to communicate with in English with each other. So it is very difficult task for them in their future life. Many of them are aware but unable to express them in front of the interview committee. So that's why our campus director inspired us to arrange such an informative session for the students. The motto of this program is to make aware the importance of communication skill and its benefits while facing the interview and their future career. So once again, I heartily welcome to all the faculties, students, and today's eminent speaker. So now I request our TPO, Professor K.S. Lunde sir, to put his two words.
Thank you, ma'am. So very good morning to all. Very good morning, especially very good morning to Principal Dr. A.K. Deshmani sir, Vice Principal Narve sir, and all BITians students. The communication, importance of communication in engineers line. Today we have organized this webinar. So I will tell the things related to communication to all students. Then I will hand over the session Aute madam. Communication is the lifeblood of all organizations. Getting the work done in effective manner has become more important than having the most knowledge. Suppose many students having lots of knowledge, but they are lagging with the communication. Then we can say yes, there is a weak point or weak things related to that students, or you can say employers. So employers give considerable value to graduates acquiring a diverse set of skills in different work environment. Besides analytically and problem solving skill, subject specific confidence and competence to work international environment are considered the most essential qualities for the engineers. However, at the bottom of these lies an effective communication skill. If students fail to see the broader scenario of the corporate world and ignore the communication skill, it can danger a shallow level of understanding. The growing importance placed on oral communication skills by employers has been echoed, requires to be presented with excellence. Effective communications reinforce positive impressions of the engineer. Proactive and accessible style of communication can be more engaging for the people. Indeed, oral skills, presentation skills are considered one of the best career enhancer and to the single biggest factor in determining a student's career success or failure. So I request all the students be a participant of this webinar and acquire the knowledge as you will get from this webinar. So I wishing you all the best for this webinar. Thank you very much. Over to Mama.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Principal Dr. A.K. Deshmani sir to give the introductory speech of this webinar.
Thank you, and good morning to one and all. The campus director, Rudra Sawan sir, all heads, faculties, and my dear students, and my team who has been arranged this particular program. Really, this is a very great pleasure to have this eminent personality like Chavan sir with us, who is going to deliver us webinar on importance of communication skill in engineering. I know the students are, as it has been mentioned, the students are from very rural area. They are not aware of how important it is to have the communication skill. Many times I observed the students are very much strong in their academic field, but they are not able to equate their knowledge in front of the experts. That's what I'm not able to place the students in different companies as I was been expecting and the institute is expecting. This is a major part where we are lagging. So to have some of the energy into that, some of the boosting point into that, I thought that let us have these words from some experts, because many times I used to pronounce in your lectures also, communication with the students also, you have to put some concentration on the communication language like English, because English is a language which will be utilized throughout the world. That's what it has got an importance in communication. As we are knowing that the Maharashtrian students are known by their devotion and the confidence. Once you build your confidence and the devotion in what you stand for, definitely the things will come very easily, and you will come to that how it is easy to communicate in English. Because the English itself, it is very easy, but you are not aware of it. Once you get practice of it, you never think in that way you should be interested to talk in Marathi and Hindi. You will always used to talk in English. So that will make you a confidence, and it will be definitely getting added at the time of interviews. So this particular initiative has been taken by ma'am and the campus director. I should thanks to them for getting such a webinar for the students. And this particular webinar will add some knowledge to all the students, and definitely they will get benefited. And in coming days, I'll think in that way, due to this particular webinar and the communication skill, most of the students from my BIT will get placed in the different company. That was the motto. And this particular activity has been run under the training and placement, where the training placement activity has been run by K.S. Londe sir. And we are be seeing that many students are getting placed nowadays. But I want in the bulk number, most of the students should get placed in the multinational company also. So this is only the motto behind this particular webinar. So I hope the webinar will be very interesting. You will enjoy it. And still, if you have any difficulties at the last moment when the announcement will be given, you can ask some queries about your communication skill to the eminent personality. So once again, thanks to the team and the Chavan sir for being with us in the Zoom meeting. So hope you will enjoy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Yes, our students are academically strong, but they are lagging in communication. All of us studied communication skill it as a subject in first year, but it is very important for them for their future life. So we all of must know about communication is very important to all of us. Now it's the time to introduce our today's eminent speaker, Mr. Punjab Rao Chavan. Currently, he is working as a head of the Department of General Science and Humanities in Shivaji Polytechnic College, Sangola. He completed his MA English from Solapur University. He passed SET exam. He completed his MBA HR from Punjab Technical University. He is appeared for PhD from Shivaji University. He taught subjects like English, communication skill, and management. He have more than 12 years of experience. He published 5 research papers in national and international journals. He won third prize in state level lecture competition held at Government Polytechnic Mirrors organized by MSBT. He was invited as a resource person for FDP on communication skill for teachers in 2020. He worked as a judge for state level debate competition held at Sangola Mahavidyalaya. So I'm very pleasure to present our today's eminent speaker, Mr. Panjabrao Chavan sir. Now I handed over this session to our today's eminent speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ma'am, for giving my nice introduction. First of all, let me mention my sincere gratitude towards Dr. Ruturaj Savan sir, Campus Director of BIT, Barsi, and Honorable Professor Dr. Anil Deshmani sir, under whose leadership BIT is marching towards excellence. Vice Principal Narve sir, TPO Londe sir, who mentioned the importance of communication skills and other soft skills during his short speech at the beginning. Then distinguished head of the departments, all the concerned departments, distinguished faculty members at BIT, and of course, all the participants who have turned up in large number for this webinar. It's indeed a great pleasure and honor for me to be here to interact with your students. So without wasting too much time in all these things, I would like to take you directly to my presentation. So once again, thank you all of you. Is screen visible, ma'am, to you?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Yes. Okay. So today I have been invited to interact with your students on the topic importance of communication skills, and even your principal and training and placement officer mentioned in their short speeches, introductory speeches, how communication is important for the engineering students. And at the same time, they said that students being from rural background fail to communicate effectively. Okay, so today I will interact with you on its importance, but at the same time, I will make you realize how you can enhance your present communication level. So before we move on, I would like to share some rules, ground rules between the participants and me. I want this session to be interactive. So please feel free to talk. Don't have any kind of grudge in your mind. How can I ask questions? If you feel shy, there is a chat box. You can write in that chat box. Okay. Then whenever you have queries, questions, or any argument, you can stop me, you can unmute your mic and feel free to ask. You are here with a purpose, so am I. And the purpose is you want to know how communication skills are important for your career development. And my purpose being over here is to make you realize, to give you some tips so that you can improve your communication skills. You shed off your shyness, you shed off your nervousness, and you most of the important thing, you forget that you are from rural background. So get maximum out of me, ask more, and you will get more. And remember, some information is being passed to you on regarding communication skills. So please, if possible, take note of it, have a pen and pad with, so that you can note down the important points. Okay, I hope you have understood the ground rules. Now, I would like to make it more interactive. Ma'am, is my second slide visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So, students, can you tell some professions in which you think communication skills are of utmost importance, or at least they are required there? If someone wants to speak, please unmute your mic and speak up. Otherwise, there's a chat box. You can chat your answers. You can mention your answers in the chat box. Come on, students, I want to know something from you.
Hello. Sir, please unmute your mic.
Okay. Please unmute now. Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Okay. So students, my dear students, I want to know from you, can you tell me some professions where you think communication skills are useful? You can use the chat box. Because unless and until we interact, we won't be able to get something from this session. Okay, the next question is, how many of you do really feel communication is important for engineers? Your students from engineering institute, and very soon you are going to join industry as soon as you complete your degree. So, to what extent do you think communication skills will help you? Students, want something from you. I want you should respond. Okay. Do you think you can effectively communicate your thoughts, ideas, emotions, feelings? How many of you really do think so? Okay.
All
No
the
problem.
students are here requested to send their responses in their chat box.
Chat box. Yeah, that will be better if the students will say something
Yes,
about.
because communication is two-way process.
Yes, 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 yes. I want this session to be a two-way, to be interactive. Students should participate. And you please don't feel that you will make some mistakes while typing. I think we have. I think we are having more than 200 students for this session.
Yes,
Okay. Sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay. The last question: what benefits can engineer have due to communication skills? If you are having good communication skills, what benefits you will get while working in the industry at the time of interview? Or do you think communication is not important, or we don't need to be good at communication skills because we are technical students? If our technical skills are sound, then it will be easy for us to get a job in any company. Okay. I think students are not interested to answer these questions. Okay, let it be, as sir told that maybe they want to answer, but fear in their mind might be holding them back. Okay, no problem. The last one question is communication learnable skill? Please answer in chat box.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Okay, very good. Like other skills, communication is also a learnable skill. Yes, is there for key interpersonal skill and learning how to improve. Communication has benefits. For many people, difficult to know where to start. Communication is a two-way process. It involves both how we send and receive. Very good. Someone has mentioned his message. Now everyone can message in chat box. Okay, sir, I think chat box is open for all, and I hope students will keep posting in chat box. Of course, communication is learnable skill. Like other skills, just like cycling, swimming, uh, then cooking is also learnable skills. You know that these skills we develop by practice. So communication can be learned. This is an art, and this art can be acquired. This art can be learned. Okay, these were some questions to the students community. Some of you answered, some of you mentioned your responses in the chat box. Let's move a little bit. Yes. Now we have to think about from recruiter's point of view, because as soon as you complete your final year, you will start looking for your dream job in your dream company. And during your entire tenure at the institute, you fail to realize the importance of communication skills. As Honorable Principal Sir told us in his speech that he himself tries to convince the students during his lectures, during other functions, how communication skill is important for them. But the students fail to understand because they focus more on technical and mathematical skills. And I think it is not bad to focus more on technical and mathematical skills, because these are at most important skills for getting job. But at the same time, they forget that other skills, other soft skills like communication, interpersonal skill, problem solving ability, having analytical mind, having attention to details, teamwork abilities, leadership qualities, managerial skills are equally important. But before they appear for interview, they realize suddenly, yeah, I think someone's mic is unmute. Madam, will you please check?
Yes. Yes, sir. Please continue. Sir, please unmute your mic, sir.
Okay. So before interview, students suddenly realize that communication skills are important for them. Interpersonal skills are important for them. Leadership qualities, management skills are also important. But by then, the time has gone out of their hand, because these are the soft skills and you cannot develop these skills overnight, in a week, in a month. You have to devote some specific time to improve these skills. So I would like to make you aware of the skills generally recruiters look for in engineers, because we have to focus more on communication skills. On the way, I will just make you aware. So technical skills, your ability to design, your ability to manufacturing, your manufacturing skills, then system analysis, quality control, then testing, coding. These skills will help you to work effectively in the technical domain. Then interpersonal skill is your ability, how you get along with the people around you. Because when you work in industry, you have to work with different kinds of people who are having different mindsets, who are having different attitudes, their perceptions are different. So interpersonal skills are very important in that perspective. Then the next one is problem solving ability, because engineers generally solve problems. They give solutions to the problems of the society. They design something, they invent something. So you have to face a lot of problems while working on the projects. So their problem solving skill will help you to sort out the problems and march towards the success of your project. Then analytical mind. So engineers need to analyze each and everything. If a project is given to them, you have to analyze how you are going to do this. You have to analyze what are the resources are there for this project. Then teamwork abilities, attention to detail. You have to be team member, you have to be team player, because you cannot work in isolate as effectively as you work in team. So when you work in a project, your abilities to work with other members of the team will help you to have a coordination among all the activities regarding the project. And of course, the last one is leadership, because being a supervisor, being a production manager, being a sales manager, you have to lead your teams. And managerial skills, if you carry out various managerial functions like planning, organizing, directing, staffing, you need communication skill to carry out all these functions effectively. So these are some skills, soft skills, generally recruiters look for in engineers, and I would like to advise to work upon these skills. Now you may be in the first year of your degree, second year of the degree, or even final year of the degree, but still you have a time. You have a dedicated training and placement department. Always be in touch with them and make sure how they can help you to improve your all these kind of skills. Yes. Okay. The next that we have to understand what is effective communication, because our session is about communication skill. So here you can see three different pictures. One candidate is there who is facing an interview. One candidate is there who is giving a public speech or giving a seminar. Then there are some professionals, they are interacting with one another. From this, you can understand how and where communication skill is going to help you. Many people think that I'm saying something with the help of words, and this is communication. It is not like that. Communication takes place when meaning is exchanged, not the words. Exchange of words is not a communication. It may be one-way communication, it may be ineffective communication. So when we can say someone is communicating effectively, when you say that particular subject teacher is excellent, when that particular teacher delivers the content of his subject and you understand that thoroughly, you say that the teaching of that particular teacher is excellent. Means the way he communicates his content, the way he delivers his content of the subject is effective, because he does not exchange just words. He directly conveys, he succeeds to convey you the meaning of his content. So in effective communication, it is an exchange of intended or desired meaning. Deliberately, I have put these two words in red: intended and desired. Desired means what we want, our receiver should understand, and intended means what we intend to communicate. So if our intended and desired meaning is understood by the receiver, then we can say communication is effective. Then why interviewers test communication skill? Why they need engineers to be good at communication skills? Ma'am, is this slide visible? Why interviewers test communication skills?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So most of the time, as ma'am herself explained in the beginning of this session, when our students sit in front of the interviewers, they get nervous, they go blank, despite having good technical knowledge, despite having good technical skills, all the technical concepts are clear to them. But because of just one thing, they start feeling nervous. They prepare thoroughly before the interview. And the moment they get in front of the interview panel, they go blank. Why is it so? It is so because you are not confident about your communication skills. You are not confident about abilities to communicate. And that's why it happens. And why recruiters want the engineers who are having stellar communication skills? Because they know communication is an essential component in a productive and healthy work environment. If they want their company, their firm to be productive, they want, if their company is having healthy work environment, they want the employees, engineers who are having good communication skills, because communication skills is a cornerstone of rest of the soft skills. So when you want to improve your presentation skills, you have to pay attention to communication skills. When you want to improve your interpersonal skills, again, communication skills are equally important. So through interview, they judge whether the candidate is able to make decisions and communicate those decisions to others effectively. Because while working in the industry, in your day-to-day working life, you have to make a lot of decisions. You have to follow the decisions by your seniors, by the managers, top management, and you have to transform these decisions effectively as it is to your subordinates and get the work done. They want to determine if candidate will be able to work well within team, because while working in team, having good communication skills certainly help you. If there is a conflict, you can resolve the conflict by having good communication skills, by understanding the problems. So conflict can be resolved. Then they want to see if a potential employee to whom we are going to hire for our company will be able successfully represent their brand and spread awareness of their brand. So branding of their product, branding of their services is very important for any firm, and the employees who are having these kinds of skills help to do these things effectively. So generally, as I asked number of questions to the students, maybe they were knowing the answers of all those questions, but they could not. And if we ask the students why you are poor at communication skills, why can't you speak in English? Why can't you give speech? What is holding you back? Then we give some excuses. Just like quitters always give the excuses, winners never. Winners always give the results. And they say, sir, we are from rural area. This is the watchword, rural. We are from rural area. And that's why we are lacking communication skills. Some say we are not convent educated. I want to make you realize, I want to bring to your notice, your honorable principal, sir, your campus director, you are head of the training and placement department, and that all the faculty members who are teaching you are from the rural area. And most of them may not be from convent schools, but still they can communicate effectively. They can deliver their subjects effectively in English. Then some say, we don't know grammar of language. If we ask someone, why can't you speak English fluently? He says, sir, I don't know rules of grammar. My dear friends, grammar doesn't teach us English. Grammar just tells us how English should be spoken. So there is no connection between the rules of grammar and speaking language. There are many people without knowing rules of grammar, they speak fluent English without making any grammatical mistake. Then some say we have poor vocabulary, our vocabulary is not rich. Then some say we don't have conducive environment, means nobody speaks in English with us. There is no one in my family who speaks in English. Even in our college, most of the staff members teach in English, teach in Marathi, or they use bilingual method. So these kind of answers are generally given. These are not answers, these are the excuses. Then some say we don't know techniques of effective communication. Some say we are having stage fear, so on and so forth. So these are the just excuses. And I'm sure these are not the real causes of your lagging behind communication skill. The cause is something different. And that cause I would like to bring to your notice. Okay, what we lack? I want the answer of this question. Somebody should answer. What is this? The slide right in front of you. What is this? What we lack? Will somebody please unmute your mic and tell me what we lack? My dear students, I want an answer of this question from you. What is this? Okay, no problem. So this is the exact reason why we lag behind in communication skills. Yes, someone, Geeta Gorge has raised her hand. Geeta, will you please unmute yourself and tell me what is this?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I am audible to you.
Yes, yes, you are audible. Please speak up.
I think the problem with lot of people is that their vocabulary problem,
Okay.
and they're in their mind they can speak fluently, but when it comes to
Yes.
express it, it cannot be that good how they may imagine in their mind, not expressed by their words.
Yes, yes. They go blank. Okay, they think they can speak. When they speak with self, they can construct lots of sentences in English, and they know, yes, I can speak. But when time comes to speak in English, or time comes to voice your ideas and thoughts, something is there that holds you back. Something is there that holds you back. That becomes barrier. And what is this? Can you guess? This is fear in our mind. The first question pops up in our mind: what people will think if I speak in English? What people will think if I speak grammatically incorrect? What people will think if I fumble for the words? So these are the self-imposed restrictions. People won't say anything. And if they say, let them say. Don't think of them. If you want to improve your communication skills, if you want to get mastery over English language, you have to speak out, regardless of what others are saying. So what is the answer that the question I earlier asked? I think one more student was there who raised hand. Would you like to express yourself? Jadawar, I think Jadawar, yes.
Yes, sir. The
Yes.
confidence
Yes.
we have the lack of confidence. That why we can't speak English very well, and we have fear that what will front of think about us while we are speaking, and that's why we have the lack, and we can't decide that we can speak English.
Yes. From your answer, the way you answered my question, I don't think you are lacking confidence. You have it. But you have made up your mind that I lack confidence. I don't have confidence. Okay, your answer was excellent. Okay, so most of the students are of the views that we can speak, but we are not having enough confidence. So the excuses that we are giving are, I think, fake, are, I think, not valid reasons for being not able to communicate effectively. Most important reason is desire. The picture you can see on your screen is desire or something else? Is it just desire? It is not just desire. It is burning desire. It is burning desire. That's why a good picture, it is said that a good picture can convey meaning of 1,000 words. So this picture itself is the reason behind that we are not able to communicate effectively. Here, how lack of desire, burning desire, or how lack of weak desire become barriers to the accomplishment of the things that we want to achieve. How many of you know the great Greek philosopher Socrates? Please raise your hand if you have heard this name before this. Yes, two participants raised hand. Okay. The Socrates is well known for his philosophy. Okay. So here I would like to tell you a short story of a Socrates. There was a young man who wanted to be tremendous successful in his life. And he was in search of the secret of success. He met a lot of learned people, scholars of his age, but he did not get the answer, right answer for the secret to success. So somebody told him, you go and meet Socrates. He has the answers to each and every questions. So with a great hope, that young man went to Socrates and very politely asked Socrates, what is the secret to success? Socrates was calm and cool. He told that young man, you please come next day and meet me near the river. And the young man went back, was extremely happy because very next day he was going to know the secret to success. And his dream to be successful was going to come true. So he could not sleep over the entire night. Very next day in the early morning, he woke up and rushed to Socrates to know the secret to success. The Socrates asked him to walk along with him towards the river. Socrates took him in the middle of the river and duped him in the deep water. That young man was desperately trying to get out the water. But Socrates was strong enough to put that young man in that condition for a few more seconds. That man was turning blue due to the lack of oxygen inside the water. Then after a few moments, Socrates pulled that man out of the water and asked him a very simple question. Can you guess the question? What question Socrates would have asked that young man? Please, some students are opening up. They're participating, they're asking questions, they're raising hands. It's a good sign. Okay. What did you want desperately when you were there inside the water? And the young man replied, air. And Socrates said, that is the secret to success. Unless and until you have a desire, burning desire for something, you cannot have it. You cannot get it. You should desperately feel, I need this. You should have that burning desire. And this is what our students are lacking. They're just saying we are from rural area, we are not from convents, we are not having any person in our family who speaks in English with us. We are not having that kind of environment in our college. These are the fake reasons. If you want, you can. You have to give some time. You have to understand the techniques of improving communication skills. You start practicing communication. Unless and until you practice, you cannot get the mastery over the skill. And we realize its importance before your interview is there, after 2 or 3 days. Let me bring one important thing to your notice, my dear friends. If you come to know that I'm going to apply for a particular job, particular post, you know the job description of that particular post, and you understand you lack something, some technical concepts regarding that job. You can flip the pages, you can visit the Google, you can consult your HOD or the expert from that field and get that concept cleared within a day or two. But tell me, if you realize you're not good at communication skills, is it literally possible to develop, to improve your communication skill overnight, in a week? Not at all. So that's why I'm telling soft skills should be learned over the time. You are in the college for 4 years. Those 4 years are very important for you. Practice, participate in various activities. So burning desire is the real cause of our being not able to communicate effectively. So having burning desire means we want something intensely. We want something very much. And burning desire is the starting point of any accomplishments. Any accomplishments, be it good at communication skills, be it your dream job, be it a particular position in the company. So if you want to accomplish that, you need to have a burning desire. And as you know that, just like weak fire cannot give a lot of heat, like that, weak desire cannot produce tremendous results. So that's why your desire should be very burning, very intense to get that. Now, I'm going to take you to the importance of communication skills before interview, during interview, and after interview. So, how would I know what I am good at? Because most of the students don't know what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, where they lag behind, where they are good at, because they have not analyzed themselves, because they do not understand themselves. And for this, there is one important tool, that is SWOT analysis. Before you face an interview or before you apply for any job, you have to do your SWOT analysis, because after doing SWOT analysis, it will help you to build your resume, tailor-made resume, according to the post for which you are applying. So this is the technique. In a very quick way, I'm going to make you aware of this. So SWOT, S stands for strengths, W stands for weaknesses, O stands for opportunities, and T stands for threats. So your strengths are what you can do best. That is your strength. Some students say, my mathematical skills are very good. That is your strength. Sometimes someone else tells us, hey, you do this very extremely well. Then you realize, yeah, I'm good at it, good at this. Some people say your voice is melodious. Till then you don't know that your voice is melodious. If your voice is melodious, you have the opportunity to be a singer. If your communication skills are good, you have the opportunities to be an effective teacher, to be a political leader, to be a good advocate, many more opportunities there. So your opportunity, your strengths will bring opportunities to you. Your strengths and weaknesses are present, and these are internal part of your personality. And opportunities and weaknesses, opportunities and threats are external part. They are futuristic. So because of your strengths, you will have opportunities in future and even in present. Because of your weaknesses, you will have threats to your career. So before I proceed, I would like to know from the students, what are your strengths? What do you think? Chat box is open, please hurry up. At least one strength. Yes, Aditya Ravindra Paul, raised hand.
Sir.
Aditya, yes.
My thinking, my strength is practice and never give.
Yes, means you are determined. You have attitude, never give up attitude. Means in any condition, no matter how the situation is adverse, no matter how the situation is difficult, you don't give up. So that is the key to success. We say it is a perseverance. Okay, that's good. One more, Priti Mangad is there. Okay, Priti, please unmute yourself.
According to me, so consistency and hard work.
Yes. So you think consistency is your strength and hard work. Okay. So I think most of the students, despite having from rural background, are having all the ingredients to become successful in life, but they don't realize. Yes, this is my strength. And you know, your greatest strength is knowing your weaknesses. If you know your weaknesses, that is your greatest strength, because most of the people don't know what are their weaknesses, and that's why they lag behind. Because once we know the weaknesses, we can work upon them, we can convert those weaknesses into strengths. So before you appear for an interview, before you prepare your resume, CV, you have to do SWOT analysis. How can you do this? So you ask yourself, what are the things that I can do extremely well? What others say about me? What are other people they appreciate me for? If someone is appreciating for your hard work, that is your strength. Like that, your weaknesses can be found out. Ask others, what do you think? What is bad in me? Bad in the sense, what are my weaknesses? They will say, you are not having stage daring, your communication is poor, you give up early, you don't seem to be confident, you are short-tempered. So they will help you to find out your weaknesses. And once your weaknesses are known to you, you can work upon those. So somebody has said that knowing thyself is before you want to know something in the world, know thyself. Means before you go out and discover something in the outer world, you have to discover yourself. What are your strengths? So I hope you will do this. How can you do this? Already I have explained. Then now I am taking you to the main point of our webinar. That is why communication skills matter for engineers. We are going to be more specific because communication skills are fundamental to all. If you are a teacher, you need to have a good communication skills. If you are a political leader, you need to desperately, because having good communication skills, a political leader can appeal the people or can convince the ideology of his party to the people and convert those people into the votes. So everyone needs to have good communication skills, but we have to be more specific over here. Now, before hiring process, during hiring process, and after hiring process while working in industry. So before hiring process means when you apply for a job, when you prepare your resume, when you prepare your CV, how you prepare it? Because recruiters or hiring managers assess your communication skills the way you have furnished information on your resume. So let us understand how communication skills are important before hiring process. How recruiters assess your communication skills? What are their strategies? What kind of questions they ask, whether you are having good communication skills or not? They have certain strategies. So generally they focus, before hiring process, they focus more on your resume, because that is your first meet with your prospective employer before you meet them in actual during interview. CV covering letter. Then have you speak in GD round, where most of the students are eliminated. This is the generally second round of the hiring process, recruitment process, and where most of the students are eliminated. Then have you answer interview questions. During interview, how confidently you answer the questions. From that, they judge, they assess your communication skills. You have to understand this. Have you answered interview questions specifically about your communication skills? Some questions are specifically asked to judge the ability of the candidate to communicate. And most important thing, how you communicate non-verbally without words. That is during group discussion round and during interview. So non-verbal communication is equally important. So these are the things on which basis recruiters assess your communication skills. So now let's understand how they assess our communication skills. Written most of the time with the help of resume or CV, candidates' written communication skills are assessed, or the way you organize your thoughts and ideas, or the way you put up information on your CV. So generally, resume is a reflection of your personality. It is not just a document which will showcase your experience, date of birth, or degrees that you have achieved, or the place you are where from. It is not like that. It is the reflection of your personality. So what skills you have acquired during your education? What abilities do you have? What activities you have participated in? What is your objective to joining the particular company? So while preparing resume, we have to be utmost careful. Keep it in mind. Because what my experience tells me, most of the students, as soon as they complete their graduation, they just copy paste someone's resume or CV and make few changes required. Sometimes they forget to change the gender, and it is a very embarrassing situation during the interview. See, you cannot use the same resume all the time. While preparing resume, you should consider the post for which you are applying. You should consider the technical and other soft skills required while holding that post. And from that, you have to prepare your resume, which is a tailor-made for that particular post. Okay. So resume is your first meeting, as I said, with your employer. And you have forwarded your resume doesn't mean you are certain to get the job. Resume will help you to win an interview, not a job. Understand? It will help you to reach an interview, not win the job. During job interview, you will have to prove how you are the good fit, how you are the most suitable candidate for the post. But to reach at the interview, you have to draft your resume in a superb way. So in one sense, it is a calling card. And it is your first impression. You are going to give your first impression through your resume. And do you know, you must be knowing this, if there are 100 vacancies, 50 vacancies, how many applicants apply, thousands of applicants apply. So how many time HR team has to go through each and every resume, or will they read each and everything you have written on the resume? Not at all. They don't have that much time. So they will just scan it within a 30 seconds. And if your resume is good enough to grab the attention of the HR manager, your chances of getting the call for interview are very high. So we have to understand these things and prepare our resume. So through resume, we can convince our recruiter that I at least worth an interview. I deserve an interview. And if HR manager feels after going through your resume, this candidate deserves an interview, then rest of the work you have to do during interview. So it should be tailor-made, as I said. Do's and don'ts. I would like to give some tips about the resume writing in a very quick way. So target your qualifications for a specific job, then keep it to or 1 or 2 pages or less. Because if your resume is lengthy, if it is of 3 to 4, 5 pages, HR persons don't have that much time to read each and everything that you have scripted, inscribed on your resume. So a better way, keep it 2 pages, have a professional email, make sure that you have not made grammatical mistakes, typos, its layout should be pleasing. It is always better to have a resume in black and white color. List relevant education, which is most relevant to the post, to that job. If you have worked, that history should be reflected on your resume, but that experience should be relevant to the job post. Include some attitude in your resume. Team player, that you are a team player. Instead of using I have completed, I have involved, I have contributed, directly write contributed to the development of the project, served on, volunteered. So these things should be included. Then don'ts, avoid abbreviations and acronyms, because some HR people may fail to understand the abbreviations used by you. Never use pronouns such as I, me, my, our. Font should not be fancy. Layout should be good. Avoid lists of boring sentences, photographs, detailed personal, family, or health information, which is not required there. Okay, and don't fold your resume. So the next thing is, during group discussion, your communication skills are assessed. Generally, the group discussion is the second round of the recruitment process. The first round is, of course, aptitude test. In aptitude test, your general aptitude is checked, assessed. And after that round, the students are invited to discuss a current topic. Okay, so that group discussion where your communication skills, interpersonal skills, your non-verbal communication skills, whether you are initiator or not, whether you are aggressive or assertive. So there are many traits of personality can be judged. So generally in the group discussion round, we have 8 to 12 members who will express their views freely, frankly, and in a friendly manner on a topic of current issue, within a time limit of 10 to 20 minutes. The abilities of the members of the group are measured. So group discussion, it's a just interaction of 10 to 15 minutes, all right, at least 20 minutes. But there you can't wait that all participants will speak first and then I will speak. Nobody will ask you that you should speak, you should speak. Even the judges who are there, they may not ask you. And we being from the rural area, do not open up easily. And that is why we can be eliminated in the group discussion round. So as I said, it's a usually second level, and it is used for mass elimination. For example, 100 vacancies are there, 1000 applicants are there, and HR team has shortlisted 400 resumes. Then they conduct aptitude test. In aptitude test, near about 50% students are eliminated. And then in 30-40%, and then second round, that is group discussion, most of the students are eliminated. If there are 10 students in a team, most of the times only 2 to 3 students are shortlisted for the next round. But you should keep in mind that they will select shortlist 2 to 3 students from each group. So my chances of getting shortlisted are 20 to 30%. It is not like that. If they think not a single candidate from this particular group is eligible, they can eliminate all 8 to 12 candidates. And if they think all the 10 candidates from this group are having the skills that we are looking for, they may shortlist the entire group. So don't depend on the theory of probability. That will be a risk. Then, how your communication skill is judged during group discussion. How good you are at communication with others. When you communicate with others, whether you are cooperative, whether you are encouraging them, whether you are engaging them, how you behave and interact with the group. Group behavior is also assessed. Sometimes what we do in group discussion, we become dominant. We do not allow others to speak. We interrupt others unnecessarily. So there is a proper way to interrupt someone. If you think that the group discussion is going out of the way, going out of the track, you can humbly request the participants, the members of the group, like say, don't you think our topic is getting out of the track? So this is the way. But instead of this saying, you don't understand, is this the topic? Don't you think we are getting away from the topic? So you are giving negative impression. Don't dominate the group. Don't be aggressive. You're getting angry. If someone doesn't agree with your views, you need to be patient. So things should be taught. And I think your training and placement department definitely will help you to understand these things while conducting group discussion activities. But for what I'm here, I want to make you realize during group discussion, these things are assessed. Your listening skill, how open-minded you are, how you put forward your views, your leadership abilities, how you make the decisions, your subject knowledge, then problem solving and critical thinking abilities, your attitude, your confidence level. So through these, on the basis of these parameters, you are analyzed, you are judged, assessed during group discussion round. So in order to create good impression during GD round, I would like to suggest few things for you. First thing, while speaking, maintain eye contact with the members of the groups. If possible, initiate the GD because that will be counted in your leadership quality. Allow others to speak. Don't dominate, as I said earlier, don't dominate the group discussion. Sometimes we think, yes, I can say a lot of on this topic. And if you speak 5 minutes out of 10, that is, it may not be counted in your good things. If you speak something, you should motivate others as well. What do you think? What are your views? Speak clearly. Stick to one particular opinion. In the beginning, if you express your opinion about the topic given, you have to stick. Then make sure to bring the discussion on track if it is going out of track. Give a different dimension to the discussion. Reflect positive attitude. Speak sensibly. It doesn't matter how long you speak in group discussion. If your contribution is constructive, definitely your chances of getting shortlisted for the next round are high. Then listen carefully to others. be accurate as much as possible and do not bluff. And at the end of the possible, summarize the entire group discussion. That will help you. Then some of the GD topics, impact of COVID-19 on global economy, how will 2020 shape 2021, farm bills, 2020 pros and cons and challenges, how to review the Indian economy, work from home, pros and cons, the rise of the gig economy, impact of COVID-19 on environment, and how to prevent COVID third wave in India, and online teaching, boon or bane. So let us have a one mock activity. Education online or offline, which is better? I will give students 2 minutes to speak on this topic. Come on, students, what do you think? Which kind of education is better, online or offline?
So this question has two answers. The first one is if education is online, there is lots of benefit also because the online education provides provides the confidence.
Yes, you said.
Online education saves also the money which are you are wasted in writing notes, and we can do it's now online. Traveling that much you required for college. Time saving is the one of the profit in online education, because if you have 1 hour class, then we should got before 15 minutes and after 30 minutes for the going to college or classes. But sir, for practical knowledge, that's I am a civil engineering student, so due to practicals I can't perform physically. So for practical purpose, offline education is better for me.
Yes. Okay.
This is the two.
So
these are the two-way questions.
yes, yes, very nice. So your views were balanced. You explained how online education has its pros and cons. Just like every coin has two sides. It has merits and demerits as well. But considering to the current COVID-19 pandemic, online situation is education is a boon. Okay, very nice. So this kind of ability you need to have. You need to have certain views on current issues, and that's why you should read newspapers, you should watch news on television, you should discuss in your peer groups what is happening around in the world, because that is very important from general knowledge point of view. Okay, very good. Then during interview, how your communication will help you. Having effective communication will help you to crack any interview, to get your dream job, in a dream company. Because whatever we learn in 4 years has to be showcased, has to be flaunted effectively during the interaction of 15 to 20 minutes with the interviewers. So this 15-20 minutes are very crucial to get your job. So when you are preparing for your interviews, you have to understand the process of interview first. It is a meeting of two experts, interviewer and interviewee, a person who is giving interview and person who is taking interview. And it is a meeting with an object. There is certain purpose behind that. Interviewer wants the best candidates for his firm. Interviewee wants his dream job. So both are prepared. Interviewers are also prepared. They have designed a recruitment process through which they will get the best candidates. That's why they have aptitude test. That's why they have a group discussion round. Then they have a technical interview, HR interview, lots of things they do. Why? Because they want the best candidates. Because once they get the candidate of average or the poor or below average or below their expectations, it is a wastage of money, wastage of time, wastage of resources on their part, and they don't want to do these things. And that's why they are very careful while recruiting the candidates. So we must be very careful as an interviewee. So what employer reviews, whether he is having enough and relevant experience to perform the job, whether he is possessing abilities, having the abilities which will help him to do the job effectively. So they look for this. Then, can you do the job? The first question we should ask ourselves, can I do the job for which I am applying? Means you have to review your skills, you have to review your abilities, and you have to review your qualifications. And if you get the answer in yes, yes, I do have the skills to do that job. Yes, I do have the abilities and I have the required qualifications. It means I'm not just eligible, I'm suitable as well. Keep it in mind. Being eligible is different thing and being suitable is different thing. Well, someone from you, tell me the difference between being eligible and being suitable. Suitability and eligibility are two different things. See, you have got, yes, I think, so if someone wants to answer the question, please raise your hand.
Eligibility means you are minimum, you have minimum qualification of that job, and suitable means you have fulfilled all the requirements of that job.
Very good. Eligibility means when companies visit your campus for the campus recruitment, they decide certain parameters, certain criteria. Just like a candidate must be having first class in 12th, then there should not be a backlog subject in any backlog semester, or they must be having 60% in all semesters. So this is the eligibility, means the candidates who are having all these things, they can apply for the post. This is the eligibility, and those who are not having, are not cannot fulfill this eligibility, can't apply. But suitability is different thing. When you prove them that I'm the most suitable, you convince them, apart from having eligibility, I do have the required skills. Because just having degree doesn't guarantee that you have acquired all the skills to perform the job effectively. Because we have seen. So suitability means you have the skills, you have the knowledge, you have the if required experience, you are having right kind of attitude to do that job effectively. So suitability has to be proved during the interview. Then, will you do the job? The interviewer may ask you, why do you want to join our company? And if we answer like this, sir, I have tried my level best, many places to get the job, and I didn't get, and that's why I'm trying here also. How justifiable answer this is? Not at all. So whether you are really interested to do that job, to join that company, whether you are really having right type of attitude and your motivation behind joining that company. If you succeed to answer these questions effectively with the help of effective communication skills, definitely you will impress interviewer and get the job. Then next one, the question is about your personality. How will you fit into the organization? Because when we work in organization, we have to work with the people. We have to endure the pressure. We have to meet the deadlines. We have to complete the projects. We have to work in team. So it's really a challenging environment. And to be a good fit for that company's particular work culture, you need to have a right type of, or the way of the right type of personality that they are looking for. So if we succeed answers of these questions, chances are very high. Then, how to communicate effectively during interview. When we are before interviewers, we have to understand that we are not there just for answering the questions of interviewers. We are there to make the process two-way. Your interview should be a two-way conversation. If only interviewers are asking questions, you are not giving their clarifications, or you are not asking your own questions. You may ask your questions, because most of the students don't ask the questions during interview to the interviewers. Then don't afraid to ask your own questions. Explain your strengths by giving evidences. There are some typical questions, my friends, during interview. If you prepare them, definitely it will help you a lot to crack interview. They ask, what is your greatest strengths? What are your weaknesses? Why do you want to join this company? Where do you see yourself after 5 years? Tell us something about yourself. But what happens when we prepare our resume and we mention our strengths or our hobbies? We are not that much serious, or we do not consider the post for which we are applying. If you have mentioned communication is your strength, you have to prove that. The first thing through which you can prove your communication is strong during group discussion round and during interview itself. Because when you are speaking grammatically correct with a flow, there are no fillers, it will give impression that you really possess the good communication skills. But during interview, you are not maintaining eye contact, you are playing with your pen, you're looking through out the window, you are making lots of grammatical mistakes, you are not able to give relevant answers to the questions. What does it show? It shows you lack good communication skills. Still, we have mentioned communication is a strength. So you are exposing yourself. Sometimes we say, I'm having problem solving ability, problem solving. They ask you, can you tell us, when did you last solve a problem, or how did you solve it? If you have really solved, you would be able to explain. But if you haven't solved, how will you explain? And if you make a story, it will take a lot of time to make a story. So then again, your chances of getting exposed are very high. So be honest. Be honest. So sometimes we mention reading is my hobby, but we never read. We are the social media bug. There also we do not read. We just pass on the message that we receive. We do not read blogs. We do not read articles. We do not read research papers. And they ask you, what are your hobbies? And you don't know what you have mentioned because you have copied the format of the resume. And then we look here and there and then think and tell something. You have mentioned reading is your hobby and you are telling traveling is my hobby. So again, you are sounding insincere, and that is the biggest flaw. They do not accept this. If you don't answer a few questions, they will accept. It's okay, no problem. But if you are sounding that you are insincere, it is the biggest flaw at your level or your part. If you say, yes, reading is my hobby, they may ask you, what have you been reading recently? And if you really have not been reading recently, what will you say? Again, the chances are there. So the best policy is be honest and communicate non-verbally what you communicate verbally. Because interviewers do not just listen to your words, they observe your body language very minutely, very carefully. So we have to make it sure what I'm telling with the help of words should be told, should be communicated non-verbally. If I'm saying I'm confident, that confidence should reflect in your body language. If you're saying I'm very sincere, that sincerity should reflect. Because if there is a difference between what you say verbally and what you say non-verbally, because most of the time non-verbal communication is natural. When we are feeling nervous, that nervousness will reflect on our face through our body language. We can't hide it. So make it sure that we are communicating the same message non-verbally. So while appearing for interview, some key points are there. Preparation is a key. Review on skills. Whatever skills you have acquired, review them, experiences, qualities, check CV 2 or 3 times, because most of the time questions are based on the information you have furnished on your CV. It is better policy to anticipate questions, means what questions may be asked to me. Identify relevant examples. When you give examples, how hardworking you are. If you prove this, how you worked during last 4 years, that will be more effective. Prepare key selling points. What are your strengths and what strengths are required, skills are required to perform the job for which I'm applying. Accordingly, you can prepare. Research organization, that is very important. Then you can research organization by visiting websites, by reading the reports, articles, company literature, because most of the time questions are there on the basis of this. You can contact with the knowledge of organization or sector, relevant articles in the press, personal visit or telephone call to the employees if they are familiar to you. Then research your job position. What job you will have to do exactly while holding that post. If I'm a teacher and I'm applying for a teacher, I must know what a teacher has to do. He has to deliver lectures, he has to assist the students, he has to control the classroom, he has to make the phone calls to the parents, he has to have a good rapport with the parents, he has to solve the problems of the students, he has to encourage them, motivate them. So this is the nature of my job. And if I know this in advance, I will be the best candidate for the company. So research job for which you are applying for. Then current issues, because in GD group discussion round, the topic is mostly on current issues. Prepare your questions that you want to ask your interviewers, because you should ask some questions to interviewers. You should know, as I told you, it should be two-way practice. Then how nonverbal communication will help you. Because when we communicate, we think that words are everything. Whatever I'm saying with the help of words is everything. It is not like that. If you look at the research, then you will really realize how nonverbal communication, that is body language, is important. Because when people speak, we absorb, we understand mere 7% of what he's saying through his words. Just 7%. 55% message is perceived, understood through the body language of the person. While he's saying something, how he says that. What we say is important, but how we say it is equally important. And there lies the importance of body language. Your gestures, posture, facial expressions, eye contact, your tone of voice, rising tone, falling tone, will help you to communicate intended and desired meaning to the receiver. That's why we have to pay attention to non-verbal clues as well. Then tone and inflections, 38%. Okay. Watch your body language during GD and group interview, because interviewers watch your body language, how you speak. When you say something, what are the expressions on your face? Do you maintain eye contact? Do you look directly into the eyes of the interviewer? which will indicate your confidence level. And in communication, most important thing is hearing what is not said. What is said, we understand or we hear. But what is more important to understand what is not said but communicated. What is not said but communicated. And that's why we have to watch our body language as well as the interviewer's body language. Maintain eye contact, gestures, because in online communication, teachers have problems because they cannot use their gestures to support what they are saying verbally. But thanks to video facility through which you can at least watch the speaker. Be aware of your own movements, watch body language of interview. This will help you to understand the nuances of the communication, what he exactly wants to say, or he is really saying so, or he wants to suggest something different. So by watching body language. So during interview, our body language should be appropriate. It should reflect that you are confident, you are not nervous there, you are mature. That message should be given. Then signs of poor communication during interview or ZD. If you are having this kind of things, it means you are having poor communication skills. The first is, if you are failing to answer questions effectively, if we are not able to answer questions effectively, it is a sign of poor communication. If we are not getting the right words at the right time in the right context, means we are fumbling for the right words and phrases, that will show that you are not having command over language and you are unable to voice your ideas. Then committing grammatical mistakes. If we are giving interview and doing lots of grammatical mistakes, which are very serious mistakes, mistakes of tenses. We are using has instead of have. Okay. Then avoiding eye contact. If you are not maintaining eye contact, you are looking at your feet, you are looking at the roof of the interview room, you are playing with the pen, playing with your tie, it shows you lack confidence. It shows you are immature. It shows you are nervous. And this is a very bad, then this creates very bad impression. Using no gestures or using inappropriate gestures. Sometimes we do not use gestures. How gestures help us? Gestures means our movements of hands and fingers. Gestures help us to convey our oral message forcefully, vehemently. So appropriate gestures should be used, not aggressive, because sometimes we use aggressive. Yes, we use aggressive gestures and that's create bad impression. Then failing to ask your questions to interviewer. If you do not ask any question, even a single question to interviewer, it will again show that you have a fear or you don't have any question or you have not understood the company or the position you are applying for the post. So you should be prepared. You should be ready with the questions that you want to ask your interviewer. So if you avoid these things, definitely you will sound good communicator during communication process. Now I will make you realize how communication skills are going to help you after hiring process. Okay. Once you get job, you may feel now everything is over. I have got my dream job and I don't need communication skills anymore. If you are thinking in that way, you are again wrong. Because according to me, the importance of communication skill is even more needed when you start working in the organization. And there also, if you are having good communication skills, you will advance your career, in your career. You will climb the ladder of success within no time. And I'm sure you will realize when you will start working in the company, people who are lacking good communication skills will lag behind, and who are having good communications will advance in their organization. So they may become supervisor, they may become managers, even CEO of the companies. Okay. So one research was conducted, and in that research, it has been found that companies which are having a well-defined communication process and they are practicing the same processes have more than 71% better productivity than other companies where well-defined communication channels are not there. So what does it show? It shows having defined communication process will enhance the productivity of the company, productivity of the employees, because it helps to have a coordination. And when you become a part of business, you have to do internal communication. It means you have to communicate with your colleagues, with your seniors, with your subordinates. So that will be internal communication in terms of its nature. At the same time, you will have to communicate with the clients, customers, then other companies to grab the project, government officers. So that will be external communication in terms of its nature. So again, even while working in companies or organizations, communication will help you a lot. Apart from having technical knowledge or a technical job, you need to be effective communicator because your roles are very different. You're not just engineer there. Keep it in mind. You are not just engineers there. You require team building. You are a team player. You are a team leader. You need to build up your team. If you're not a leader, you have to be at least a good team player. You have to motivate your employees, subordinates. You need to coordinate all the activities. So number of roles you need to play while working in the organization. Definitely communication will help you. You are supposed to write various reports, following production report, then project report. Accident reports are there. Some accidents take place in the industry. So being a responsible person of that department, you have to report that incident. Letters are there. Emails are there. So here, from this point of view, communication is also important. Then presentation. Business world is full of presentations. You hold the meetings, you attend the meetings, you attend the webinars, seminars, conferences, because most of the time when team members are working from various countries or varying places, you have to communicate with one another through conference, through online meetings. So there, how you communicate is also important. Then some more activities are there, sales and marketing. Unless and until you market, advertise your product thoroughly, just 1 minute. Yes. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Within next 5 minutes, I will end the session. So at the end of the session, I would like to give some tips so that you can work upon that and improve your communication skills. We can observe good communicators around you. Lots of people are there in the vicinity to whom we can observe and learn from them. Then ask a close friend or colleague for constructive criticism. When we give a presentation, you should ask to your colleagues how it was and what would you like to suggest, what was the best and what was the what things are there that I need to improve. Then practice improving communication habits. Whatever habits we have, whatever communication skills we have, that are the result of our habits, the way we communicate from the last few years. Then you can attend communication skills workshops or classes. At the workplace, you need to keep these things in your mind to be a good, effective communicator. Express yourself with clarity is very important. Check on understanding. Make it sure that others are understanding you, or you are also understanding others what they are saying. Know your audience. That is the key to success of communication, because if we know the audience to whom we are addressing, if we know their educational background, their interests, their cultural background, it will help us to design the message accordingly and delivery strategies. Then context almost matters, because when we say something out of context, it creates problem for the receiver to understand. So whatever we say, it should be in the proper context. So then develop emotional competence and be respectful, because when we communicate respectfully, we respect others, we listen others respectfully, it will help us to get our message across to the audience. Again, the style of our communication should be friendly. Then welcome constructive feedback. If your colleagues, your audience are giving you feedback which is constructive, always welcome that feedback, and use body language intentionally. Okay, thank you very much. Once again, I thank you, all of you. This is all about what I wanted to share with you regarding importance of communication skills for the engineers. We have last few minutes, because after that our session will not be recorded, or the time will be over. So students, if you are having any questions on your mind, please feel free to ask me. Otherwise, you can write in the chat box. Madam, over to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello. Here I requested students, if they have any query, then raise your hand. Anybody want to ask any question?
Dear students, feel free to ask your questions.
Okay, I think
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, it seems that there is no question from student side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, really, sir, your session is very good, and you focused on the various skills which are very important for our students. You focused on the various skills, that means interpersonal skill, as well as how to prepare resume, and in that resume, how we have to write the strong points, because resume are the first impression of the candidates in front of the expert panel. Then you expert what is the role of a candidate in group discussion, means how we have to behave during the group discussion. Then you focused on the interview, that means what is the meaning of the interview, then which skills, abilities and attitude are very important during the interview session. You focused, that is very important aspect, that is body language, because it took 55% of the communication. So it is very effective session for our students. Then after, at the last, you focus the effective communication at the workplace, because communication is very important at our workplace as well as our personal life also. So I think you cover all the aspects of the communication for a candidate, for his or her personal life as well as professional life. So here I very much thankful to Mr. Panjabrao Chavan sir for giving such a great guidance to our BIT students. Then after, I will thank you, our Honorable Campus Director, Mr. Rudraj Sawant sir, who inspired us to organize this session. I would like to thank Dr. A.K. Deshmane sir, Principal of BIT. I would like to thank N.G. Narve sir, Vice Principal of BIT, to support us to conduct this session. Very nice session. So it is very helpful to all the BIT students for their future career. So thank you.